The unspoken struggle unveiling the silent war against men. Verbal abuse against men is a silent war. It is often unseen, unheard, and unacknowledged. This form of abuse can be just as damaging as physical violence, leaving deep emotional scars. Men, often raised to be stoic and strong, may suffer in silence, their pain minimized or dismissed. Society often expects men to endure abuse without complaint. This expectation is rooted in traditional masculinity, which dictates that men should be tough and unemotional. As a result, men may feel ashamed or embarrassed to admit they're being abused, fearing judgment or disbelief. The silence surrounding this issue is deafening. It allows the cycle of abuse to continue, leaving countless men feeling trapped and alone. It's time to break the silence and shed light on this pervasive problem. It's crucial to remember that verbal abuse is never acceptable, regardless of gender. Every individual deserves to feel safe, respected, and valued in their relationships and interactions. Society's blind eye, the perpetuation of abuse against men. Society often turns a blind eye to verbal abuse against men. This disregard stems from deeply ingrained societal norms and expectations. Traditional gender roles portray men as dominant and assertive, while women are often seen as more passive and submissive. These stereotypes create a dangerous power imbalance, leading to the assumption that men cannot be victims of verbal abuse. This societal bias minimizes the experiences of male victims, and reinforces the idea that men should simply toughen up or man up in the face of abuse. Furthermore, the media often portrays men in positions of power, further perpetuating the myth that they are immune to such vulnerabilities. This representation ignores the reality that abuse can affect anyone, regardless of gender, social standing, or background. By challenging these harmful stereotypes, we can begin to create a more equitable and just society that acknowledges and addresses the needs of all victims of abuse. The scars that run deep: verbal abuse and men's mental health. The impact of verbal abuse on men's mental health can be devastating. Constant belittling, criticism, and humiliation can chip away at a man's self-esteem, leading to feelings of worthlessness and inadequacy. Over time, this can contribute to anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. Men who experience verbal abuse may withdraw from social situations, fearing further judgment or ridicule. They may struggle to maintain healthy relationships, haunted by the fear of repeating past experiences. The emotional toll can manifest physically as well, leading to insomnia, headaches, and digestive problems. It's essential to recognize that verbal abuse is a form of psychological violence. It can have long-lasting effects on a man's mental and emotional well-being, impacting his relationships, career, and overall quality of life. Seeking professional help is crucial for healing and recovery. Therapists can provide a safe space for men to process their experiences, develop coping mechanisms, and rebuild their self-esteem. Real-life wounds, stories of men silenced by abuse. The stories of men who have endured verbal abuse are often heartbreaking. Take, for instance, Mark, a successful businessman who endured years of constant criticism and belittling from his partner. What started as subtle jabs at his appearance soon escalated to insults about his intelligence and masculinity. Mark, conditioned by societal expectations, felt he couldn't confide in anyone. He internalized the abuse, believing he was somehow deserving of it. This led to crippling self-doubt and a decline in his mental health. Similarly, John, a young artist, suffered emotional abuse from his peers. They mocked his passion, calling him weak and feminine. This constant ridicule eroded his confidence, making him question his identity and aspirations. These stories, though fictionalized, represent the very real experiences of countless men who suffer in silence. Their pain is a testament to the urgent need for greater awareness and support for male victims of verbal abuse. Section 5. Breaking the cycle. Strategies for combating verbal abuse. Breaking the cycle of verbal abuse requires a multifaceted approach. Men experiencing abuse must understand that they are not alone and that their experiences are valid. Recognizing the abuse is the first step towards healing. Seeking support from trusted friends, family members, or therapists is crucial. Sharing their experiences can help men process their emotions and begin to rebuild their self-worth. It's important to remember that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Setting clear boundaries with the abuser is essential. This may involve limiting contact, asserting oneself when being abused, or in some cases ending the relationship entirely. It's vital to prioritize one's safety and well-being above all else. Remember, no one deserves to be subjected to verbal abuse. By speaking out, seeking help, and setting boundaries, men can break free from the cycle of abuse and reclaim their lives. Section 6. Empowering men, fostering healthy communication and boundaries. Empowering men to combat verbal abuse involves fostering healthy communication and boundary-setting skills. These skills are vital for building respectful and equitable relationships. Men need to feel comfortable expressing their emotions and needs assertively, without resorting to aggression or passivity. Learning to identify and communicate personal boundaries is equally important. This includes recognizing what behaviors are unacceptable and communicating those limits clearly and firmly. It's about advocating for oneself and not tolerating disrespect or mistreatment. Educational programs and workshops can play a significant role in equipping men with these skills, providing a safe space for men to discuss masculinity, relationships, and communication can empower them to build healthier connections and break free from harmful patterns. By fostering open dialogue and promoting emotional intelligence, we can create a society where men feel empowered to speak their truth and demand the respect they deserve. Section 7. Shifting the narrative. Challenging societal norms and expectations. It is imperative to challenge the societal norms and expectations that perpetuate the silence surrounding verbal abuse against men. We must dismantle the harmful stereotypes that prevent men from seeking help and encourage them to suppress their emotions. Promoting healthy masculinity is crucial. This involves redefining what it means to be a man and encouraging men to embrace vulnerability, empathy, and emotional expression. It's about celebrating men who defy rigid gender roles and advocating for a more inclusive and compassionate understanding of masculinity. Media representation plays a crucial role in shaping societal perceptions. It's essential to advocate for more nuanced and realistic portrayals of men in media, showcasing their emotional range and experiences, including their vulnerability to abuse. By challenging traditional gender roles and promoting positive representations of masculinity, we can create a more equitable and supportive environment for men to speak out against abuse and seek the help they deserve. Section 8. A call for action, raising awareness and supporting male victims. Raising awareness about verbal abuse against men is not about diminishing the experiences of female victims. It's about acknowledging that abuse can affect anyone, regardless of gender, and advocating for support and resources for all victims. We must encourage open dialogues about this issue in our homes, schools, and communities. Educational campaigns can help dispel myths and misconceptions surrounding male victimization, fostering empathy and understanding. Supporting organizations that provide services to male victims of abuse is crucial. This includes donating to shelters, hotlines, and counseling centers that cater to men's specific needs. Volunteering time and resources can make a tangible difference in the lives of those affected. By amplifying the voices of male survivors, we can chip away at the stigma surrounding this issue and create a society where men feel empowered to seek help without shame or judgment. Section 9. Towards a future of respect, building a world free from verbal abuse. As we move towards a future of greater understanding and respect, it is our collective responsibility to create a world free from all forms of abuse, including verbal abuse against men. This requires a fundamental shift in our attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors. We must foster a culture of empathy, where individuals feel safe and supported to speak out against abuse, regardless of gender. This includes challenging harmful stereotypes, promoting healthy masculinity, and advocating for greater awareness and support for male victims. Creating a world free from verbal abuse requires a collective effort. By working together, we can dismantle the systems that perpetuate this violence and build a future where all individuals feel valued, respected, and empowered to live their lives free from fear and abuse.